Trump says Somalians destroyed the USA and should leave America alone, but Trump has bombed Somalia more than all the other US presidents put together. Maybe Trump should leave Somalia alone.
They've destroyed our country, and all they do is complain, complain, complain.
The New America think tank has tracked America's 20-year shadow war in Somalia. This colourful graph counts every US president's attacks on Somalia. Trump is the poo-coloured president, and it's all been pretty secretive, but Amnesty International exposed appalling disregard for civilians killed. In 2019, they proved 3 victims that Trump's government claimed were terrorists were actually farmers, and that strike alone left 19 Somali children fatherless. So yeah, maybe Trump should leave Somalia alone.
Complain, complain, complain.
Just this year, he's killed up to 12 innocent civilians in their own country.
They just run around killing each other. There's no structure.
How has Trump been able to run around killing Somalians? By scrapping structured regulation. And somehow, despite America bombing the region for 20 years, Islamic extremism has only become more powerful and populous. Why does this keep happening? Random fact, most groups we call terrorists were founded in reaction against some sort of colonialism. For example, Al-Shabaab, Somalia's most destructive militia, was formed to resist an Ethiopian invasion backed by who other than the USA. Turns out nothing is more radicalizing than colonialism. Anyway, we still haven't got to Trump's worst impact on Somalia.
I don't know. I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon.
Unlike Trump, I was lucky enough to go to Somalia, most beautiful coastline I've ever seen. But life is hard for too many. Nearly 4 million people are internally displaced, and nothing has displaced them more than climate change. One woman basically laughed at me when I asked her if she would try to move to any other part of the world. Where? She said. Many of them are from agricultural communities who know the land, but whose nature-based generational way of life has suddenly been completely destroyed by a climate crisis that Trump says doesn't exist. Trump, whose presidential campaign was funded by $75 million in oil and gas industry donations, has spent his presidency unraveling climate policies. Somalia, by the way, along with Niger, suffers the world's highest per capita death rate from the world's rising atmospheric temperature. Climate change also interacts with conflict, because in camps, often the only way to make money is fighting in militias, and drought makes feeding livestock a matter of life and death. That's if America doesn't randomly bomb your livestock first. This actually happens.
I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason.
Yeah. Maybe Trump should leave Somalia alone, or at least stop complaining about some of them emigrating elsewhere.
My people, let's set the record straight on what President Trump just said about Somalia.
Somalian, look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other.
Somalia isn't a nation? As a matter of fact, Somalia is one of the oldest nations in the world and has existed for, get this, over 2,000 years. They've built major trade empires across the Indian Ocean, developed one of Africa's oldest systems of law, and rebuilt entire economies without a central government. That's not failure. That's resilience, sophistication, and global impact.
These Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country.
No, they've actually poured billions into the U.S. economy. The Somali diaspora has rebuilt education systems, businesses, and local economies from Minneapolis to Columbus. In Minnesota alone, Somali-owned businesses generate over $200 million in economic activity every year. The community has some of the highest rates of small business creation among immigrant groups. They fill critical workforce gaps in healthcare, transportation, logistics, and public service.
They have destroyed Minnesota. Okay.
Destroy Minnesota? No, they're actually the economic engine of Minnesota. Minnesota's Somali population has revitalized entire neighborhoods. Towns that were once declining corridors now have thriving hubs led by Somali businesses, restaurants, markets, and transport companies. The state's East African population contributes over $1.5 billion annually to Minnesota's economy.
And all they do is complain, complain, complain.
My people, civil participation is not complaining, it's patriotism. Minnesota has some of the highest voter participation rates among East African immigrants. Somali Americans serve as teachers, police officers, nurses, entrepreneurs, city council members, and yes, members of Congress.
They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, and she's a disaster. She should not be, and her friends shouldn't be allowed. Frankly, they shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople.
Now, you may not agree with every politician. That's democracy. But Ilhan Omar is the first African-born, first Somali American, and one of the first Muslim women ever elected to the U.S. Congress. That's not a threat. That's the American story. So, my people, when they say Somali Americans are destroying America, show them the receipts. Share this video to let someone know this is a community that works, builds, votes, serves, prays, dreams, innovates, and contributes far more than they are ever given credit for.
Folks, today I am here to announce that I will be sending ICE to deport all Somalis back to Somalia for scamming the gorgeous state of Minnesota. How dare there are people out there scamming the United States of America without my permission. I am the only person that is allowed to break the law in this country, folks. If Somalis resist and fight back, I will go ahead and recognize Somaliland as a free sovereign nation. Once I close down all these daycare centers, I will be putting my name on all of them and creating a Trump daycare franchise of my own, because that clown Tim Waltz over here giving out free millions of dollars to any schmuck that opens a business. Why did nobody tell me Minnesota was handing out free money for scammers? I would have moved all my businesses there a long time ago. But yeah, all the fraudulent white-owned businesses can relax. I won't be coming after you. I am strictly going after Somali businesses because they're the only ones scamming this country, folks. Trust me.